searches, okay? The elites like Satan.
All right, guys, as promised, I'm back to share the current news with Candace Owens. Many of you know that I like Candace Owens. I think she's a woman of God, but of course, there are some things that I don't always agree with. And I believe part of being a truth teller is you can't be afraid to tell the truth as you see it, of course, as you see it, and always being, oh, I just agree with everything. No. I don't agree with any and everything that anyone says except the word of God, okay? Because we are all human beings and we are all falling short of the glory of God. So I take everything with a grain of salt. I question it. I inquire it. I take it to the Lord. And sometimes it checks out and sometimes it's like, you know what? We're going to have to be like Peter and Paul. I don't agree with that. And that's all right. I think people get so disturbed in their spirit when people actually agree to disagree, or they have a disagreement. It's okay. It's how we go about these things. But anyways, Candace Owens, one thing I will say, she is bold as a lion. She is courageous. I believe she's a woman of God. I believe she is put in a space and a place for a time such as this. She has given her platform and she's no holds barred, and she doesn't care what you think of her. And this is necessary when you have to speak truth. You just got to come with it. So, Candace Owens, I did a video earlier last year where she was making claims that the first French lady, you all know her, Brigitte Macron, was actually a transgender. And I told you all, we need to cover Candace Owens with prayer. Because they're going to come for her. You cannot just make these kinds of accusations that hit so close to home without there being a price to pay. But I believe that God, like I said, he's arising his hidden ones, these people who are bold as a lion, the fiery ones. And they're like Queen Esther. They have this spirit of Queen Esther that if I perish, I perish, but you're going to get this word. All right. Because there are people who are set to open the eyes of a nation, and I believe she's one of them. So to the story, she's talking about, this is something that is not new. Now, do I think that the people, the elites, would care about her revealing the story of, Brigitte Macron and, her true identity? No, but I think that because this story, and if you know, it hits very close to our own house. So let me show you a clip of Candace Owens and I'll let her share her thoughts. Take a look.
The Olympic ceremony. BTW, what the F was all this about? A drag queen mockery of the Last Supper at the Olympics? Would they have mocked any other religion like this? Appalling decision. That's what Piers Morgan tweeted. I tweeted right back at him. I said, so remember when I was telling you a couple of weeks ago that France's first lady was a dude in a bad wig? Yeah. Don't pretend to be appalled. Don't pretend that it's absurd. You are lying to the public. So here is a photo, by the way, just over the years, Jean-Michel Tragneau, as he became Brigitte. As I said, the evidence for this is overwhelming. There is no evidence that Brigitte Macron lived for the first 30 years of his life. There's none, actually. It's actually stunning that in the absence of evidence, the entire mainstream media is still convincing part of the public that you do not have a trans person as the first lady of France. Okay? Not only that, by the way, let's go get that photo back up. Not only that, because this is what you need to see. I want to keep this up for a little bit. Not only did this little boy, Jean-Michel Tragneau, that second photo, I believe they found a photo of him at a pride parade when he was just living as a homosexual man. That next photo is when the transition began, if I recall correctly, and that's a photo from the professor years. And the professor years of Brigitte Macron is when he statutorily raped Emmanuel Macron. Are those not the prerequisites, by the way? To becoming a leader of a world country, you got to be in drama class like Zelensky. You got to be a homosexual like a lot of them tend to be. And are the new prerequisites that you need to have something in your closet like this and the entire state is going to work feverishly to protect the secret being that you are trans? What do you think about the psychological games that are played when the entire public tries to tell you that for having two eyes and the ability to read, as I did, obviously, I read the 6-part series, The Journalist Who Did This, who has never been sued. Nope. They're trying to lie to you to make you think the journalists are being sued for libel. Nope, it's not happening. His name is...
Now, she's right. You don't have to go far on your Google search engine to find some journalists, to find true, authentic pieces of written work that question Bridget McCrone's womanhood. I'm going to read, this one's from France, and it says 2 women go on trial for claiming French First Lady is transgender. Online rumors have suggested that Bridget Macron has never existed, with conspiracy theorists claiming that the First Lady's brother, Jean-Michel, had changed gender and assumed that identity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not conspiracy theory. Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite factual, if you have any kind of discernment. Now, am I trying to send you on a rabbit hole chase? No. What I really want you to understand is that we've got to lift Candace Owens in prayer, because again, it's not really about Bridget Macron, so to speak, but she is hitting I'm going to say this again, she is hitting very close to home. She is hitting very close to home. Y'all lift her up in prayer. She is bold as a lion.